morning. Good morning. Good morning. How you guys doing today? It is a beautiful Wednesday morning. It's about 8:15, 8:20, something like that. I am in my car drinking my Dunkin' Donuts and listening to Ryan Cameron and Wanda in the morning on B103. So I had glanced at my Facebook this morning and I saw that Sierra, you guys don't know who Sierra is, she's an R&B singer, young girl, had her baby this morning, or I guess yesterday or whatever. But y'all, okay, so y'all know she goes with Future. I don't know if that's her boyfriend, husband. I don't know what's going on with baby daddy, I guess. But y'all, I guess the baby is a boy. I'm not positive it's a boy. But y'all, she named the baby Future. Future. That's her baby daddy's stage name. Future. So you gonna name your baby after your baby daddy's stage name? Future? Really? Really? Why you still name the baby after his real name? Whatever his real name is, to make him a junior. So you gonna have this baby walking around in life with a name Future. I think it's, now listen to this, Future Zaire Wilbur. Y'all, really? Really? These celebrities naming their baby these crazy names is just out of control, y'all. It's just out of control. I mean, Future, really? You gonna name your baby Future? But y'all think that's funny. I have a girlfriend, one of my girlfriends I work with, a really good friend of mine. Her cousin named her baby, y'all. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait. Listen to this, y'all. My cousin named her baby Knowledge. I ain't lying. Knowledge. Like knowledge. That is not a name. Girl, when she told me she named her baby Knowledge, I was like, what? Like, where do that even come from? Like, how do you even come up with something like that? Like, how do you sit at a table and you like thinking about what you gonna name your baby and knowledge comes to your head? Like, who does that? Y'all. Knowledge. You know how they gonna mess with that poor baby as she growing up. I would hate my mother if she named me Knowledge. I really would. As soon as I turn 18, I would change my damn name, because that is just ridiculous. Knowledge? Ain't Knowledge? Really? Really? But y'all, I'll give y'all another one, okay? Don't laugh because this is family, but I'm gonna tell y'all this. Okay, my grandfather, God rest his soul, he's gone on to the Lord now. But when he was younger, he was always real slim, right? He was always really tall and slim. And he liked to play pool. He was a very good pool shooter, amongst other things, but we're just gonna stay in this lane. But anyway, his name really is Willie Whiteside, okay? That's his name, okay? Well, he decided one day that he was gonna legally change his name, okay? Now, mind you, he has had a son, and he has a son named after him. He's a junior, Willie Whiteside Jr., okay? All right. Okay. So, later on in life, he left my grandmother, he went on about his life, and remarried, and whatever, right? So, he had more kids. Well, in this time, he had legally changed his name to, y'all wait for it, Rotation Slim. Rotation, okay, like rotation, like a rotation. Slim is the last name. So Rotation is the first name and Slim is the last name. Okay? Wait for it. So he goes on to have more children, right? So the first son he had with that name, guess what, y'all? He named him a junior. Rotation Slim Junior. Yes. Yes. My mama was so upset about that, y'all. Then my cousin, we always called him Booby growing up. Well, he's not my cousin, he's my uncle actually. When he got married, he named his first son Rotation Slim the third. Y'all, it's madness. So there's 3 generations of Rotation Slims. And he's got kids. He's got a bunch of kids, my uncle. He has a bunch of kids. And they all last name is Slim. But the crazy thing is, there's no heritage to your name. That's a name your daddy in his heyday made up because he thought that was a cool name, because something about rotation is a thing you do when you play pool or something, I don't know. And Slim is because he was always a slim man. So now you have a generation of children and grandchildren with this name. And there's no ancestry to this name. Really? Really? Y'all, that's very disturbing. Okay, it's cool that you want your name to be Rotation Slim because back in your heyday or whatever, you thought that was a cool thing to do. Okay, but you're gonna name your children these names, and then they have to name their children that last name Slim. Where does Slim come from? If you try to retract your ancestry, what you gonna find? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because guess what? That's not your name. It is so crazy. You gotta be careful with how you name your kids. That's just like if you get this tattoo when you 21 years old and you may get it up here on your breast or whatever. That tattoo is not gonna look like that when you 80 years old. So you want to name yourself this crazy ass name because you thought it was cool when you was in your 20s. When you was in your 20s. Now you got a whole generation of Slims. Grandchildren, now we got great grandchildren in the play. And they all last name is Slim. Really? Really? And then you got the nerve to, oh, here comes the traffic. I know it was too good to be true, y'all. It was rolling. Here comes the traffic, coming to a complete halt. Right at downtown ATL. But y'all, it's just so crazy. I'm just like, you gotta be careful what you name your children. I mean, that stuff goes on for, in the line of work I do, my at-home business, I come across some crazy names, y'all. I mean, and I'm thinking to myself, there's nothing wrong with trying to be creative and give your child maybe a different name, but really, knowledge, Future, T.I.'s son, Major and King. Really? What's that? Cameron Diaz's daughter name is Apple. Blue Ivy. I mean, blue. You gonna name your child a color? Blue. Brian Cameron had me cracking up just a few minutes ago because he was like, what if a racetrack race a NASCAR driver named his child Pennzoil. You know, the oil. I mean, it's just insane. I mean, it's just insane, y'all. I can't, like, I can't. Name your children something nice and something that they'll be proud of, and you know, you don't have to worry about your child getting picked on when they go to school. You know, I had to put my shades on, y'all. The sun is shining. I mean, you know, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Oh no. And I always had trouble with my name. It wasn't because my name is ugly, just because my name is different, and it's a lot of letters in my name. But when people actually know how to pronounce my name, they always say, oh my God, your name is so pretty. And I done had 2 other friends of mine name their children after my name, after me, because they love my name so much. And I love my name too. And I've met a couple people with my name, but they spell it different. But y'all, you got to think about, like, when you name these kids these crazy names, and you know, they go to school and they gotta, you know, gotta get a job, and they gotta get a job, you know, and they write knowledge Jackson on they application or resume. Really, y'all? Really? Knowledge? That just really killed me. Knowledge. It's just like my grandfather. That's not even a name. It's a freaking adverb. Like, really? An adjective, whatever. You know, that is not a name. So now you got 3 generations of Slims. It is just crazy. Like, all his kids' last name are Slims. Some of the grandkids' names are Slims. That's not named. You know, they don't have their father's name or whatever. You know, he's got about 6-7 kids. And now his kids are having kids, and you know, this, and then, you know, I'm pretty sure his son, when he's getting married, the other rotation, he gonna name his first son Rotation too. I know he is. And like, he proud of that name too. Like, my uncle is proud of his name too. Like, he get offended when you talk about, like, we can talk about his name, you know, and laugh about it and joke about it or whatever, because we family. But like, if somebody else that's not family say something about his name, he get offended. Like, he do not like nobody. He is very proud of his name, Rotation. And I mean, and we just called him Booby growing up, and I still call him that or whatever. But like, he don't want nobody even calling him Booby. He wants to be called Rotation for real. Like, he is proud of that name. And he's even more prouder of that name because his father done passed away now. But you know, it's crazy. Like, really. But I guess if you grow up with a name and that's all you know is that name, you get attached to that name. Because one time on the radio they were talking about, you know, people calling in with when their mama named them some ghetto stupid name or whatever. And a lot of the people that called in, you know, they grown and they proud of their name. They love their name. And they get an attitude and they get offended if you talk about them. So, you know, it's like, really? You know, but I guess you just get used to it, and you know, you grow accustomed to the name, so it doesn't seem so ghetto to them no more or something. I don't know, but like this one girl, her name was Monifa, and what was the other girl name? I forgot. But Monifa, really? And I can understand, like, if you got I can understand, like, if you have it's a family name or something, you know. But these are not family names. These are just something, these people smoking crack or weed or whatever they smoking, and one day they just come out, yeah, I'm gonna name my baby Monifa. Who does that? And then like this other guy, his name is they call him Theo for short, but actually his name is Theo Longus. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I like names to be different and everything, but some of that stuff is just too ghetto for me. Like, all them Bonquishas and Monishas and Shaquita and I can't. I can't even do it. I feel sorry for those kids got to grow up with that name. And you know they're not getting no darn good job because they see an application with John David on there, and then they see another application with Monifa Williams. Which one they gonna pick? They ain't picking Monifa. I don't care how qualified she might be for the job, just because her name jacked up. I mean, that's just what it is. Unfortunately, that's how the world is now. So, baby, honey, When I got pregnant, one time when I was gonna have my son, and I was just like, I was really stressed about what I was gonna name him, because that I take that very seriously about naming a child. Like, that's something serious. And I wanted him to have a good name. I wanted him to have a name that, years and years and years and years and years, he will be proud of his name, and he, can get a job, and, everything. So I named him Riley. And I don't know, one day I was just on the bed, and just Riley just popped in my head. I had never even really thought about the name or anything. I had some other names, and my husband had some names. My husband wanted to name him Stefan or Steven or something, a regular name, but I didn't like that. It didn't click. But when I said Riley, it like clicked with me, and it stuck with me. And then I was like, that's it. That's what his name is going to be. So I gave him his dad's middle name, which my husband's middle name is Donnell and Campbell. So, it was, that was his name. And I always said if I was going to have a girl, I was going to name her Willow, because my mother name is Willa. My mother name was Willa. And since my mom has passed away, I said if I ever got pregnant again and I had a girl, I was going to name her Willow. So, yeah, but I'm serious about names, and all that craziness, that's just too much. Like, who does that? Like, I don't know. I just shake my head sometimes when I look at those names. And it's so funny, like, when you go to graduations and stuff, y'all, this traffic is off the chain. When you go to graduations and stuff, and you read in like the graduation list, and you looking like, especially if it's a black school. But I tell you something. My goddaughter, she graduated from Banneker High School, the school here in Atlanta, in the city of Atlanta, a couple years ago. And the guy who was pronouncing the names, I'm telling you, this man was on it. He had so many crazy names to pronounce, and it was like almost 200 kids in that class. And when I tell you, that man pronounced every single name. I mean, it was African names, it was Indian names, Chinese names, all these ghetto names. And when I tell you, that man pronounced them names so well and good, I said they gave that man a standing ovation after he finished those names. Cause honey, it took a task to say those names, and he did it very well. I mean, he said everyone's name, and the principal stood up and said that he had pronounced they asked the class, did he mispronounce anybody's name, and nobody raised their hands. He pronounced every single one of those names correctly. And I mean, we were like, wow. I know he practiced on that for a while, because I mean, it was some crazy names he had to pronounce. And them Indian names is a booger. Them Indian names can be rough. I might have to get off 75 and jump on 20. For real, because y'all, my grandmother cannot be late to this appointment. She will kill me if she is late to this appointment. She will have, she's 88 years old, but I promise you, she would have a baby if if I am late to this appointment. You hear me? Honey. Maddie Whiteside do not play about her doctor's appointment. And and these people, and I was reading the thing, you know, they be serious about if you don't show up, they gonna charge you $200. It's 8:39. She needs to be there by 10 o'clock. If I can get off 75 and jump on 20 right here, I'll be all right. Cause I know 20 ain't jacked up like this. This is ridiculous. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with this every morning. I promise you. I couldn't deal with this every morning. And you know what? That's why people be stressed going to work, because you got to deal with this traffic. You know, you got to deal with the traffic in the morning, and by the time you get to work, you're so flustered and so upset when you've been sitting in traffic all morning. You know, you get to work and you're in a tizzy, and then when you get off work, you got to deal with the same bullshit. No ma'am, I can't do it. I got to get off. Baby.
Around half mile.
Thanks, GPS. It told me it was going to be heavy traffic on 75, though. It ain't like I didn't know that.
In a quarter mile. Merge onto I-20 West.
It told me to get over. That's where I'm going, GPS. That's where I'm going. But y'all, yeah, so the moral of the story today, y'all, please don't name y'all children no crazy names, y'all. Just think long and hard before you name your child some adjective, noun, pronoun, adverb. Name your child a name, not some craziness. Really, y'all. Really.